And them boys hopped out the car, bro. They hopped out the car and got on them folk like Ricky, bro. On everything. They got on them folk like Ricky, bro. They beat him. They beat him. Not only did they beat him, they allegedly beat him. But not only that, bro. One of them tried to run, fool, and got caught like Ricky for real, bro. Outside the movie theater. You know everybody. You know my whole family.
The whole team.
God.
100.
100.
Double salute. Wildlife 100.
Wildlife 100.
I've been in the trap every day, I don't get much sleep.
Wildlife 100.
Something so real, so real, you can feel it in your knees. I need something like you, do you need someone like me?
What's moving, everybody? Hey, man, you already know what's going on, man. I'm back again with another crazy story. This time we got How I Became the Plug Part 3. You feel me? Y'all asked for it, so I'm just here to deliver. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna keep up too much of y'all time. Let's just hop straight into it. Now, a little backtracking, right? Where we left off was I had just started going to North Springs High School, and I just started selling tree at school. Some guys approached me that I didn't necessarily know. They bought from me a couple days prior, and this next day in particular, they wanted something a little bigger. So I brought something a little bigger. I felt like something was fishy with how they approached me and how they was acting that next day, but it was what it was. You know, I felt like that was the game. You know what I'm saying? And plus, like I told y'all, I was used to selling the hard C and the soft C. You know, I wasn't used to selling tree, you know, so it was like I had to learn this different type of clientele. You know, when you dealing with junkies, fool, they just take what you give them and they just going on about their business. Dealing with tree smokers, it was like regular people. You know, they might run off on you. They might try to scheme on you. You know, they smarter than junkies, for real, to be honest with you. They told me to bring a half a zip. I brought a half a zip. They told me to meet them in the bathroom. When I met them in the bathroom, they ended up running off with everything. They ran off with everything because the police officer, the resource officer that worked at that North Springs High School just so happened to walk in the bathroom conveniently as they're checking out the tree, right? And he didn't stop them when they ran out. He didn't do nothing. You know, it was just like it was almost planned. You know, that still to this day, bro, it don't sit right with me. I really feel like they knew that resource officer or something like that, you know, and you just wouldn't even expect certain things like this to go on because this is supposed to be a better side of town. This is North Spring High School in Sandy Springs, bro. You know, anybody know anything about Sandy Springs, Georgia, bro? That's in the ATL movie. That's where Nunu really stayed at, in Sandy Springs. You feel me? Come to find out, bro, they really got some hoods out there. You know, but this wasn't my hood though. I come from the east side. You know, I'm coming up here. Slick a little green, you know, I'm not thinking these folk were really on what they was on, but they was on that, you know? Because remember I told y'all, when we moved to Sandy Spring, we stayed in the trap, bro. Literally, in the trap. You know, we had characters like my brother Chop. He used to come over there every single day and work his moves because he was really from the north side. You know, we wasn't necessarily raised together, so he was raised on the north side. I was raised on the east side. You get what I'm saying? So when we moved to the north side, he came over frequently, but we about to get to that. When it came to these guys that stole from me, mind you, bro, I went back to the house and I basically told the Crips. Remember I told y'all we stay in the trap. This is the Crips trap. We basically living with these folks. You know, we upstairs and they running the spot downstairs where the kitchen and the living room at and all that. You know, they weren't just necessarily running it, but you know, they had people going in and out all day. So that was pretty much their spot. Remember I told y'all, I feel like they were helping my sister's best friend, mama, with the rent as well as us. So, you know, they got free range in that house. I went home and I basically told them what happened, you know, because I'm like, hey, bro, do y'all know these folks? Cause I'm think this they area. They gotta know certain people in the area. I was gonna handle my own business, you know, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure. I brought it up to them because it's like, I know y'all might know who might have done this or can reach out to somebody and figure out who it was. I'm not thinking they just gonna go full throttle for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy they did, you know, but I'm not thinking they were just finna go that hard. So y'all watched the day I became a gang member, then y'all know it was a guy that I fought at the beginning. So I get to talking to him and I'm basically asking him certain questions. He started talking to other people in the gang and bro, long behold, it was like the head guy, I ain't gonna say no name, fool, because it's a lot of politics behind that. But the head guy at that moment, he basically knew who these folk was, right? Off a description. And he ended up, I don't know if he ended up calling them, sending a message or anything like that, right? So I go to school the next day, bro. And these folks come up to me out of nowhere. Remember I told y'all, we would see each other between a certain class period in the middle of the day. This time, shout of them came to me early in the day and said, hey, bro, we don't want no problems, fool. We don't want no problems. We ain't know you was connected to such and such. You know, we don't want no issues. Because my whole plan, I wasn't trying to get suspended from school or anything like that. So I ain't want to go off on them in school. You know, I had just got here. I ain't want my mama to be mad at me. I wasn't trying to get suspended. I had just, if y'all been keeping up with this story, y'all know I had just been suspended from the last school I was with for 10 days for fighting. I wasn't trying to go back down that route. I was trying to be a little smarter. So I'm like, listen, meet me at the Citgo or whatever that gas station, Chevron or whatever that gas station was that was right in front of North Springs High School after school. So they like, all right, bro, I'm just telling you, we don't want no issues. We'll meet you up there. You know, let's just talk about it. So I'm like, nah, ain't no talking. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I'm like, nah, ain't no talking, fool. I want my ones. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all done ran off. If you either gonna pay me now or you gonna give me my ones when we get to that store. So they like, all right, bet, bro. I ain't tripping. We just gonna meet you at the store. So I'm like, all right, bet. So as I'm going to class, by the middle of the school day, the head crip guy ended up texting my phone and telling me, hey, bro, we gonna be at the school by the end of the day. So make sure them folk meet you somewhere or whatever the case like that. Mind you, I ain't even tell these folk nothing like that. I don't know if these folks were so scared that they start hitting them up or start sending kites out to them in certain ways or something like that. Because remember I told y'all, the folks that ran off on me, they stayed in the blood territory, you know, but they just so happened to be some non-affiliates. I don't know how they was getting that message to shout at them on my end, but the head crip hit me and he like, hey, we gonna be up there 10 deep after school. You know, just meet us at the gas station. And I'm like, all right, bet. And sure enough, when that bell rang, fool, that was the case. You know what I'm saying? I felt so empowered. I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz I felt so empowered. This is like my first couple weeks at the school, if that, you know. So and I'm already getting into mess, number one. But number two, I'm not going out bad. You feel me? I don't never necessarily go out bad because I'm always willing to fight for myself. But in this situation, it was like it seemed like I had them moved in the right place and I done aligned myself with the right people. So I ended up not getting on my bus and walking to the Chevron or the whatever it was, whatever gas station it was. Because remember I told y'all I used to skip every day. Well, not skip, but during lunchtime, I used to walk to that gas station. It was right in front of North Springs High School. So I went to the gas station, and lo and behold, fool, it's about 10 Crips up there, bro. 3 cars deep, bro. I'm talking about they got box Chevys. They got Impalas out there. You know, they just got the gas station sold up. You know what I'm saying? And I pulled up, man. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's finna go down. You know, and I'm still willing to shoot my ones with these folks. You know, I don't need nobody to fight for me or nothing like that. You know, this was just a good look. I felt like, oh man, these folks really rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? I understand this gang stuff. You know what I mean? At this point. So I walked to the gas station and I'm dapping everybody up. Mind you, at this point I'm a non-affiliate. You know, everybody just rock with me because I stay where they work at. So I dap everybody up, you know, regular handshakes, and we waiting. We playing music, you know, we playing music loud out there. Ain't nobody tripping. It's just like we in the hood, bro. It's just like the east side, bro, on everything. It wasn't no different from the hood I had just came from. Or the hood I grew up in, rather. We get to waiting, and Buddy texted me and was like, bruh, you tried to set me up, bruh. We ain't coming up there, you know? So I ended up showing all the Crips. I'm like, yeah, these folks, they ain't coming. You know, I guess they drove past and they seen all us posted up out here or something like that. So they ain't gonna come. So the head Crip was like, all right, it's cool. I know where they at. I know where they be at, you know? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I ain't even, you know, thinking about it. So I go to school the next day. And these folks ain't nowhere to be found. I'm talking about all day I'm looking for them, you know, because I got shouted them on alert, you know? if not the head guy, then I know the younger guy is gonna pull down. You feel me? So I'm looking for him all day. Well, not even necessarily looking for him. I'm just keeping my eye out. So I don't see him all day, bro. A week go by going to school. I don't see these folks all day, every day. It's like they switch schools or something. I promise you, bro. I didn't end up seeing these guys for the rest of the year. I don't know if they switched schools. I don't know if they already planned on switching schools. I don't know if they were so scared they dropped out of school. I don't know. But listen, it was like that back then. You feel me? When I tell you these Crips was really putting down in they little projects, bro, it was really like that. Remember I told y'all it used to get bad. Like the Bloods and the Crips used to really try to unalive each other in that area, bro. Sandy Springs, bro, the North Side, Roswell, all of that. You know, it was really real out there. I never seen these guys again, bro. But fast forward, a couple weeks go by. I get a phone call and they like, hey, you remember them guys that stole from you? I'm like, yeah. They like, bro, we just caught them at the movie theater. What you want us to do? Now mind you, I don't know if any of y'all in y'all hood or y'all growing up used to frequent the movie theater often, but we used to go to the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to the movie theater like every other week or something like that. And it was this one movie theater that everybody used to go to. You feel me? If you didn't go to this movie theater, then you ain't really have too much going on, or you didn't know too many people, or you wasn't trying to be in nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is what all the girls went to. This is what all the gang affiliates went to, the members, everybody. You know, everybody used to go to this same movie theater. So, come to find out, the head had done put one of his chicks on the other guy, right? A non-affiliate chick that nobody really necessarily knew. She hopped down on Buddy. I don't know if it was through the DM, because I think MySpace was or something like that was popping back then. I don't remember. But MySpace or Facebook. It probably Facebook. Yeah, it was Facebook. I don't think it was MySpace. So she hopped down on Buddy, and she basically told one of the guys to meet her at the movies, right? Then she said, I got a friend, so bring one of your friends. So who do y'all think he brought? He brought the dark-skinned guy. Mind you, I still don't know neither one of these guys' name, bro. I just remember their face, fool. That's it. So he ended up bringing a dark-skinned guy, and it worked out perfectly, bro. When they pulled up to the movie theater, the girls went to the bathroom. Right, mind you, this is as they're buying their tickets. They standing outside to buy their tickets. They like, hey, we finna go in the bathroom real quick, cause they could go inside of the movie theater and use the bathroom or whatever like that before they got their movie tickets. They went inside the theater, and when they went inside the theater, that's when the Crips pulled up. And they called me. They like, hey, shouted him out here, what you want me to do? I'm like, hey, come pick me up. You feel me? Come pick me up. I'm trying to be a part of this. You know what I mean? So I was sitting there gang banging. I ain't even know it. You feel me? So I'm like, yeah, come pick me up, fool. They like, bro, we ain't got time. You know, like, on top of that, the cars that these folks riding in, you gonna know when they pull up. You know, they got color coordinated cars that match their flags and all that like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't want to get too deep because there's politics involved. It's certain politics involved because, mind you, I don't deal with a lot of these folk no more because a lot of these folk switched sides and went this way and went that way and, you know what I mean, all type of other stuff. You feel me? So I just let that be that, you know. They pulled up. They like, we ain't got time for to be pulling up on you and bringing you back and all that. So I'm like, all right, well, just do what you do. And them boys hopped out the car, bro. They hopped out the car and got on them folk like Ricky, bro. On everything. They got on them folk like Ricky, bro. They beat him. Not only did they beat him, allegedly, they allegedly beat him. But not only that, bro, one of them tried to run, fool, and got caught like Ricky for real, bro, outside the movie theater. Cause if y'all know this movie theater out there in that area, it's like in the cut kinda. It's like a slight little alley around the corner. He made his way around the corner and allegedly got popped, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. You know what I'm saying? All I know is, you know, I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just know what allegedly happened. You feel me? They didn't even hit me. They didn't even call me back that day. You know, I ended up seeing them the next day or something like that, and we chopped it up, and they gave me the rundown, and and it was what it was. You feel me? I didn't see them boys at, like I told y'all, I didn't see them boys at North Spring High School no more after that. I didn't see them no more after that, bro. Still to this day, I ain't seen them folks. You know, and I'm pretty sure I recognize them if I did see them. You know, fast forward, right now, it's like, all right, somebody done got hit from the other side. Even though they was non-affiliates, it's like they was affiliated. You get what I'm saying? Like they dealt with the Bloods over there. So now it's like, all right, who is this little guy that y'all end up getting hit about? And of course it was me. So now my name is kind of ringing bells. Lil J, Lil J, Lil J. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I'm just a schoolboy. I'm going to school every day. I ain't really tripping about nothing. I'm really just caught up in certain situations because I ain't going for nothing. You know? I done moved in this trap area with all these folks. I'm guilty by association, and I ain't going for nothing. So it's looking like I'm riding. You feel me? Which to an extent I am riding because hey, if you ride for me, I'm riding for you. You know? And this what further led into me being initiated and all that stuff like that. You know, aside from the fact that the spot ended up getting robbed and my mama was in the house. Y'all gotta go watch that part. Now my name is kind of on the radar. Now that my name is on the radar, the Crips is putting up even more often. You know, my brother Chop, shout out to my brother Chop. I mention him a lot, in the day my best friend sent me to jail on every part. You know, that's who I was rocking with. And when I robbed the plug and all that, this is who I've been rocking with for the last 10, 20, however long years. You know what I'm saying? In the jail, out of jail, all of that. So y'all gotta go watch that and keep up on me and Chop and our shenanigans, right? So now Chop, remember I told y'all he not really staying on that side of town, but he from that side of town. Now he pulling up every day because we having some kind of animosity, you know, with the other side. It done kind of heightened. He pulling up every day, and mind you, I'm still doing my little hand-to-hand tree selling, but for the most part, things done slowed down a little bit because, you know, folks ain't really trying to go to the store as often. The store right there on Main Street, you feel me? These folk really be doing drive-bys and stuff like that over here in this hood, between this gang and that gang. So it's like I'm making my way up there, but mainly on Sundays and stuff like that. Remember, I told you I can't really go up there as much anyway because I was at school all day, every day. I'm even having to watch myself at school, you know? But like I told y'all, the school and all of this was in their territory, but wasn't nothing stopping them from driving by or anything like that. So, you know, I just used to have to watch for that. So the trap still running smooth. I at this point I had them been on the block for a good amount of weekends where I got certain clientele that's actually pulling up on me. So that was cool. You know, I was sustaining like that. You know, I was able to buy school clothes, school shoes, and stuff like that because of the plays that I accumulated from being on the block, you know, posting up at the store. They pulling up on me now. So that was dope. But fast forward, remember I told y'all Chop coming around more often. Now Chop's thing back in the day was stealing cars. I don't know where he learned this skill from. I don't know how he learned this skill, but that just so happened to be his thing. You feel me? He used to pull up and he'll be done stole a car. I remember one day in particular, this man stole a all white 7 Series BMW, right? A little old school. And bro, this man pulled up and took the whole hood. Jill was taking folks around, bro. Jill was driving folks around everywhere. You know, he like, y'all want to go to McDonald's? Y'all want to go to Burger King? Y'all want to go to the movies? Y'all want to do this? Y'all want to do that? He just pulling up with somebody else's car, bro. Just freely taking folks everywhere. You know, his thing back then was if he didn't just take it from you straight up, he used to wait outside your apartment door or your apartment complex and or the Quick Trip. And you know how when you pull up at the Quick Trip and you leave your car running, Chop would be in the cut waiting for you to go inside of the car. I mean, waiting for you to go inside of the store, right? You done left your car running. Now you done ran inside the store real quick. You done came back out, Chop in your car. He in your car pulling off. Or you don't even see him gone. You get what I'm saying? Bro, one day he pulled up in the white BMW. He taking everybody to work and all that stuff like that. And I mean, he taking everybody to the store and all that stuff like that. Then he goes and parks this car somewhere in the complex. He didn't ever take these cars home. So he parked it somewhere in the complex around the corner. When he parked it around the corner, he went to go check up on it the next day. He had the keys and all that, but the car was gone. Come to find out, the owner had I don't know if they had a tracker on it or what the case, but they ended up finding the car. They had a spare key and they took it back, right? So now Chop is carless. Mind you, he's still going to the Quick Trip and stealing other cars and stuff like that for the day and stuff. You know, I don't really know why he used to do this. It was just one of the things that he used to do. You know, he used to take these to hit his licks and take the cars just to ride around. I guess that was the case. You know, but one day he decided to take the same car, bruh. That all white 7 Series BMW. Cause he like, that's the nicest car he done had, right? So I'm guessing he knew where the car was parked at. He knew where them folks stayed at and all that. So this man ended up going to the complex, taking the car again, bro. I don't know if he waited. Oh yeah, he still had the keys. So he went, took the car again, bro, and he pulled up on me that night and tried to tell me, hey, let's go to the movies. But mind you, I don't remember what I was on punishment for, but I was glad I was on punishment. My mama ended up putting me on punishment for something. I don't know what it was. You know, I had a lot going on back then. She probably knew that, you know, I was dibbling and dabbling in certain things and whatever. But she had me on punishment for like a week or something like that. In the trap too. Like how crazy is that? You feel me? Like it was still a lot going on. Like this probably the last place I need to be on punishment at. So he pulled up on me and he like, hey bro, let's go to the movies. Let's go do this, that. So I'm like, nah, I'm on punishment. You feel me? You know, I ain't trying to get in too much trouble. You know, at the end of the day, I don't never want my mama to be mad at me. You know, like I'm doing a lot of stuff out here, but at the end of the day, it's just me. It's just me and mama and my sister. You know, so I ain't trying to I don't want her to be mad. So I used to listen. That was the whole reason I stayed in school. You know, because that's all my mama wanted from me. You know, so I did that, especially with her working all the time and stuff like that. So I declined to go to the movies. Bro, that same night, he ended up going to the movies and got in a car chase. The police own him, cuz. They done found out he done took the car. Well, they don't know who took the car, but they done found the car on the street, and he had to shake them folks, bro. He really should end up shaking them folks and making it back to the hood. When he made it back to the hood, bro, he parked the car somewhere. When he parked the car somewhere, I guess they couldn't find him, right? So the next day, I end up coming home from school, bro. I'm walking home from school. And I'm walking home from the bus. The bus stop let me off at the top of the complex. I'm walking through the complex to get to the trap where I'm staying at. And this actually happened more than once. I'm walking as I'm getting closer to where we staying at our apartment, bro. I see this all white BMW and the police is looking all in the car, bro. The police, and this is pretty much right in front of where we staying at. This is a parking lot that's parallel. It's in the same complex, but it's a parking lot that's parallel to our door, bro. So the police is looking all in the car and stuff like that. So I passed the car and I'm walking into the room. I'm like, damn, that looked like the car Chop stole. You know, I ain't saying that, but I ended up walking into the house. So when I walk into the house, bro, tell me why Chop is upstairs with a 357 in his hand, my sister right next to him, and he's looking out the window at the police, bruh. I'm like, bro, what's going on? He like, bro, man, these folks took me on a chase last night. I ended up parking the car in here. Now these folks is outside, and I don't know what to do. I'm like, bro, run out the back. He like, bro, I ain't trying to run out the back, bro, because I feel like they got the apartment surrounded. So I'm like, all right, well, what we gonna do then, bro? I don't like. I ain't never been in this situation before. My sister, if any of y'all know her, she a rider too. You know what I mean? So we was all in there. It was just us too. Parents was at work. It's just us. We ain't got no straps. Me and my sister ain't got no strap. This man got this big old long barrel, and we looking out the window trying not to be seen. But we can see the police looking all in the car. As he's looking in the car, bro, he pulled out some paperwork, fool. And Chop like, dang. He just get the cussing and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, what? What was that? What did he pull out? He like, bro, tell me why this man done went to the Metro store, bro, and then got a Metro PCS phone in his name, bro, and left the paperwork in the car. Now they know his name, or now they got a hunch. You know what I'm saying? So now we like, man, fool, like that was crazy. You know what I mean? So now we are pretty much barricaded inside this trap house. We hoping don't nobody come to the door, or don't no plays come to the door or anything like that, because the police is about 20 feet away from where Chop is. We up there looking like Malcolm X finna go to war with the feds, you know, upstairs, and we just praying to God they don't come in the spot. But guess what they do? They knock on the door. They knock on the door, bruh. Straight up, you feel me? They ended up knocking on the door, but they didn't knock on the door at that moment in time. They left and they came back a little later that night and knocked on the door, bruh. And I'm gonna give y'all that story, man. Drop part 4 in the comments, bro, and I'm gonna give y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and hype me up, bro. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Man, look. This is another thing, too. A lot of folks was telling me that I should drop these stories in one day and stuff like that. And I verbalized that to y'all in one of my last videos. You know, my best friend sent me to jail for the unthinkable, like part 10 or something. And I appreciate all the support I've been getting. You know, it's bro, I love y'all, fool, for real. It's been dope kicking it with y'all, you know. It's been so many people in my comments letting me know, like, bro, do you run it up? You know what I'm saying? Build your platform the way you building it. You know, we like these cliffhangers and stuff like that. You know, cause the last thing I want to do is lead y'all on. You know, but the art of storytelling, bro, is I'm still learning the art of storytelling. You know, and I just appreciate the people who appreciate me, and I appreciate the folks that's really been taking this ride with me and helping me understand and being there for my understanding. You know, y'all some real ones, bro, and I mean that for real. But hey, man, drop part 4 in the comments, man, and make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and until next time, baby, 100.